the 9th of January, and I know I'm running a couple minutes late, and I apologize. We will make it up on the other side. It was due to some serious technical difficulties, and we are waiting to see if anybody's about tonight, if anybody's around, if I'm on my own, in which case I'll go and pitch marbles. So in the meantime, listen to some music. Change it up. 2018. Mash it up. Let me hear you. Who outside there? I know she's not climb up on me. It's kind of like a tricky. I'm checking out Nicky, but you know the time is up on me. The way the yellow wine is like the breeze of blow, but the hot and the sunshine on me. All you don't know that song. Alright, we will find a song that you all know. The crew, that's our back in times. Alright. I just want to wake you all up a little bit. Where the girl them sugar? Where the whole crew? Nobody around. Philip by himself tonight. Philip by himself tonight. Philip could listen to some music. Philip will listen to music till people come. You know why the camera feeling so off? I'll leave you rich. Share up the video. Share it. Share it, share it, share it. Let them know we're here. It's why we do it. Don't know what's going on with me. The Nevo gave me stress. So your best ass wine. Mommy, Uncle Philip said a bad word. I was told that this morning. Uncle Philip said a bad word. I have a lot of kiddies. I have a lot of kiddies in the audience. I have a lot of kiddies. Parents, I'm blaming you all for exposing your kids to this politics thing from too young an age. So, we're going to have to try to stop giving the parents stress to explain what Uncle Philip really meant. Uncle Philip really meant something else. They have stuff I need to share with you. We have confirmed artists for the pep rally on the 20th of January, and I cannot spill the beans yet, Anna, but I tell you I want that. I can't tell you. I can't say. I can't tell you. But it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. What do you say? It's going to be lit. We're going to be pumping. We're going to be pumping down in Blanche Park, Shagonas. Wow, the message thread is full. Everybody, I'm not talking anything till we cross 300. If you all send people a message and tell them we're here, we're going to just lie and talk stupidness tonight. Last night was busy. Tonight, you see the name of this video? You see the name of this video? Incontrovertible rights versus unforgivable wrongs. You want to deal with it? Bring the crowd. Call them. We have things to discuss. We have things to discuss. I will share it. I will share it all over the place. And I will find people to bring in the crowd. Let me find something apt to what we're talking about. That look the real thing here.
Hey, senor! You said it's the daddy and his fast here? You must know that. Big fat man with plenty blue money in the pocket. You don't see that, senor? No, man. Hey, the thing man, they don't take that.
I find El Dorado. It really was down in South. But it was in Mexico that them was talking about. Them rich Trinidadians. This whole El Dorado thing. They here living like lords. But they gone to live there like kings. They hide in the cacada. And when you miss them, scamp on them. So I go into Panama. Where say? Call this a confirm South, no man. $169. We get broadband Wi-Fi for you tonight. Where are you? Look.
They had a big Chinese gentleman.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Say he was a big businessman.
Racing was his name.
They even call him some kind of ambassador.
I really don't know.
But it is pretty short land. Nearly everything is a puppy show.
I play that song for that line. That is one of my favorite lines ever. David Rudder was a prophet. And David Rudder, have you ever seen this man? I'll shake his hand. A humble, simple, small little fella, you know. But the amount of world-changing lyrics that come out of my head, I'm a writer, I'm a wordsmith. And I respect that man. Here in this papi show land, nearly everything is a papi show. I see Basil Paris, BC Paris quote him the other day too. Here in this papi show land, nearly everything is a papi show. Junior Jackass, stunt artist extraordinaire, Edmund Dillon, jump out himself last night. What he said? They cross a line. The video was done. If I had known that he had said that while I was doing the video, I'd eviscerate his wasteful ass. But I didn't, so I will deal with it tonight. The line has been crossed. Darling, then boy, when they come and rape his babysitter, kill her, cut his throat to this. The coroner said they cut the boy to his spine. That is hate. That is anger. That is demon business. Edmund Dillon, where the fire truck were you when that line was crossed? Where were you? A beautiful little police officer. When I tell you that girl was gorgeous, the first time I ever see a picture of that woman was when she had gone missing. And I thought she could have been a Miss Universe, Miss World. And I'm not saying just because she's pretty, but she was gorgeous. Gorgeous little young girl police officer. Went missing, dead. All kind of name called, they find she body. I never hear anybody get hold for that. How come in the United States, I'm in New York City, if a police officer run afoul, I want to tell you something, they don't stop. They don't stop. And you know what happens? If somebody put God out their thoughts and kill a police, all the other bandits and all the other informants, them looking to find police one time to say, listen, two things, it ain't me and I wasn't there. Because they know police ain't stopping. In Trinidad, she was with the wrong man, some man in sea lots, and all kind of bullshit. And we had to talk all that kind of shit. The man had gold around his neck. We have people in this country at house in Goodwood Park that can't come for how the ass they buy the house in Goodwood Park in the first place. But if you have gold around your neck and sea lots, you're a different animal. And here in this papi show land, nearly everything is a papi show. The reason the 1%ers don't want Philip Edward Alexander in government is because I know their time, I know their length, and I know their inclination. I know what they're about. I know all their stories. I know all their secrets. And I'm telling you something. The only thing that keeping a lot of them from making a long jail is the power of government and a good bribe. And a good bribe. But I tell you all last night, because even the UNC supporters realizing now, because they're asking themselves, when I take mommy and tanty and papi in the hospital and it bad so, it ain't bad so 2 years, and they're talking about opening the hospital, the Chinese Bill hospital in Couva, a whole piece fall long and collapse. The same Chinese company that come here and build Napa and put asbestos in the ceiling and rotting steel, the steel rotting in 5 years, they good taking advantage of these stupid Trinidadians, you know, but the bagmen taking bribe, and the bagmen telling ministers, don't worry, no man, where you want it? Where you want the money? Where you want it? Where you wanted meet you? Barcelona? You wanted meet you in London? How about Paris? Take the kids Paris on a holiday. Would you like your money to meet you in Las Vegas? Fire truck the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If you don't thief somebody else, well, that is the kind of jackassery I have heard up close and personal with these two political parties. And I know the bagmen, and the bagmen know I know them. This is not little gold teeth stunters from Beetham and Silots. These fellas driving Range Rover. Them driving Range Rover and they have ministers on speed dial. Big ass bandit. Massive thief. They have businesses in this country that importing dirty US dollars in the form of ingredients. Colin Buru said, but it has always been bad. Exactly. And I don't understand how you could have 3 ministers of national security, all 3 missed in action for 2.5 years. Now I want to say, what happened to that little boy from Chumakak? Like all the other stories, hurt me to the center of my core. And what hard is that his loved ones have to have that memory. They see their pictures. All they flood social media with it. All they care, little black boy. It's a little black boy. Put him all over Facebook. If he was from Westmoreland, if he was a Syrian, you can't find that picture. And in this papi show land, nearly everything is a papi show. We cannot continue to have a double standard and treat people like they're expendable. And when they say hell no, we want to ask a question. We want to say, hey now, can't we all just get along? We have pushed people to breaking point in this country. A man posts a video today, I nearly share it, I have it saved by cussing plenty, and I don't want to put too much cussing in it, but Chumakak songing like Aleppo. And the jackass say, we going after you, we coming. But it's only bandit gun I hearing. Only bandit gun. And the PNM handful of remaining supporters like Corn Beef Man, even Corn Beef Man best friend leave him. I see Wazim Daniel put out a video of his own. You know what Wazim? Respect. You and I used to be friends. Politics has a way in this country of destroying friendships, and it destroyed our friendship, and that's okay. But respect for your video today. At least you call it as you saw it, and I respect you for what you put out today. I am not joining with anybody. I do not think that any of the people who are willing to join up now really have Trinidad's interest at heart. And that's why I'm not joining anybody. I'm not joining any of them. They could call themselves activists all they want. They could call themselves politicians. They could call themselves humanitarian. I, Philip Edward Alexander, joining with the members of the Progressive Empowerment Party. I am surrounded by real patriots inside the Progressive Empowerment Party. We lost one member, Suzette Lauer, and she's now launched a farming project, proceeds from which go into the orphans. This is the kind of people I want to move with. I don't want to move with stunt artists and jackasses who just trying to get themselves an and a work and a licensing office contract. Come now, man. Come now, man. Greed eat this country up and spit it out like them bones. You see, I had a grandmother. She used to eat chicken bone. When she done, nothing left. I never ever see anybody do that. But she do, nothing left. And that's what they do, Trinidad. They chew we up and spit we out. The country in a mess. I keep saying it. I keep saying to you, look at what you have. Look at the raw material of what you have. Tell me how anybody else own no man's land. You see Kid Rowley need to slap behind his stupid head. How could sandals end up with no man's land? How? That is the people's asset. That belongs to the people. The nylon pool, the pitch lake, those are Trinidad's crown jewels. Those are blessings for this country. You don't divest that. We never send you there to divest the crown jewels. All you mad. All you mad, I tell you mad. And the supporters who supporting that, you all have nothing to get. You all have nothing to get. You're not even getting the cockroach shit that get left on the plate after the crumbs gone. All you have nothing to get. Half all your ass dragging on the friggin' ground. You have two hope. None, no hope and Bob hope. And you're still there outside there fighting down this shit. You're fighting down this shit. Kamala do this, Kamala do that. And the Indian side, the UNC bullshitters, Rowley do this and Manning do that. Listen, it's not doing nothing for you. Look at Marcia Brave Boy life. Marcia Brave Boy lives in hiding. The man, Maxi Coffee, her mortal enemy, she swear, he out to kill her. She in witness protection. Living on a stipend from some UNC stunt artists. Outside there jamming people. Look at Alan Karim. Look at him. Look at the life these people live. And tell me, how could that be rewards for support? How could that be something you want to say? You know what? I want to be a jackass noisemaker. How could that be what you want to do with your life? Why can't you be a Trinidadian and a Tobagonian first? Why can't you say that? Why can't you say, Kamala, you know, you had a chance to plant 1 million fruit trees in this country. You went and planted 4 plants on the side of the highway, and you applaud yourself, and they applaud you, and all you went on your merry drunken way. Why you didn't plant 1 million fruit trees in this country so people can't starve? Why you didn't do that, Kamala? Why you didn't do that, Manning? Why don't you do that, Rowley? Because none of you care about people. All of you want people hungry, suffering, and slaves. That's what you all need. That's what you all want. That's what you all have agreed to. You've sold the people of this country to slavery. The people who own the pitch lake, nylon pool, and no man's land. The people who own every cubic meter of natural gas anywhere in this country. The people who own every single barrel of oil. It is theirs. It is their own. But let them go and play the touching something now. It's government boots in their ass, and Butu and Bato, what are you calling them now? What's the latest word? Listen, stop being other people's fool. Stop it. Kid Rowley has a fellow named, I think it's Richard Sideno, last night posted on my wall, and I read it after, and brother, I acknowledge you. I couldn't post it because I couldn't tag you, and I don't like to thief other people's words. But that man posted on my live thread last night, a donkey in a horse's finery is still an ass. But I take when, and I'm using it from today. I'll give you your credit. Trinidad and Tobago. The cost of living in this country is out of the reach of most people. Not the 1%. Not the people, not the middle class who still have all savings and all equity that the bank trying to get them to tap into in their house. So when they lose that, they're gone. Because that's what's going on in the country, you know. That's what's going on. But we will deal with that another time. But the cost of living in this country is so high because the UNC and the PNM have taken bribe money. We will call them campaign contributions. But they know better. They've taken bribe money from 1%ers to not grow food. Kamala tell the nation, forget smelter. Remember in 2010? Forget smelter. I used to bundle baji. I say, well, yes, we will get a food policy. Kamala tell the people she used to stack body and bundle baji when she was small. I say, this woman understand the thing. The entire country, all of its fertile farmland is either growing grass, razor grass, or supporting 1% strip malls. Drive up and down the road and see. Land that used to grow food now are all being used. Money in, money out. And one day will come. And if it does come, and we have no money, and we cannot afford food, dog better than we. Because all them stunt artists that you're lining up to clap like seals when they pass in the fancy car, them don't have house and land outside, you know. They don't have a plan for when the shit hit the fan. They're gone. And it's you and yours to catch. And when you read the stories about learning the taste of rat is something like chicken. Everything is something like chicken. But that's wishful thinking. Stray dog dead in Venezuela now. Stray dog are dead in Trinidad. We have nothing in place. A business, a country, a nation, an organization is run with a vision and a purpose. You must have a goal, an objective, a plan. And those goals, visions, plans have to be broken down by this is where we're trying to go, this is what we're trying to do, this is what it will cost us, this is the human capital, the financial capital, these are the resources, this is what it's going to cost, and this is where we're going to go, and these are our deliverables, all of the metrics, the measurables, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, boom. We have nothing like that. We've had a Dwen call member, stand up in the parliament 2.5 times and call you an ass. And he said, you are enough of an ass that I will take everything in your left pocket today and tell you the country badly off and I need everything in your left pocket. But I will leave you what in your right pocket for a while. And I'll come back and use the power of the state after to take everything in your right pocket. Because we're in riot yet. That's what he said. He told that to the IMF. Skin up his stinking, ugly gargoyle face when he said it. Call him ugly in the dark. He like over London. Well, they thought it was just black people was ugly. And call him ugly. Call him real ugly. He have a kind of crushed paper face. You ever watch him? And when he smile, everything is pulled back like a lizard. And I don't like him at all. Call him, but as a fella I never like. I don't like how he look. I don't like how he sung. I don't like his voice. I hate. And I hate to my core that son of a bitch get away with the shit that he get away with in his life. And his children living well. Living well. His children living well. And they want to tell you. So when they tell me George Maxwell Richards is dead, and they expected me to say rest in peace, it's like they didn't know me. There was a woman named Grace Walker. I want to love her. Grace is like, she's like a calm troll. She stalks my wall. Grace Walker's job is to tell me when she disagrees with what I say. And I cool with that. You talk, Grace. But you see, I want you all to understand what I understand about Section 34. Because the Parliament was sold an idea for a law called Section 34. I keep telling you all. And Section 34 was passed now nearly 10 years ago. And I keep telling you all, there are people in the jails who cannot afford bail and they cannot afford a lawyer, so they cannot get into the system to have their cases tried so that they can be adjudicated one way or the other and come out. There are a lot of people in the jails who are there longer than they would have served if they had been found guilty. And the problem is the system set up to fail have them trapped. So Herbert Volney and Anna Ramlogan came up with this magical idea. We will pass a law, the Indictable Offences Act, and a part of it, Section 34, would deal with this. Who, once you have a matter before the court, longer than 10 years, and I watched them in the Parliament, 10 years, madam, you agree with 10 years? I agree with 10 years. In the committee stage, so lovable, so reasonable, so practicable. You want to say to yourself, this is how government works. But none of us was expecting this thing in the tail. Scorpions, as it were, that we were watching in debate. Because all of them, all the time, every single time, comes with a sting in the tail. And the sting in the tail for Section 34 was there is a clause in Section 34 that lists all of the crimes that are not covered. You can't get freed for murder and for treason and for rape, I think. And they were supposed to put white-collar crimes there, but they didn't. Because the nation was supposed to think of the little black boy. That's what they sold you. Gypsy job. Gypsy job was to stand up in the parliament and break your heart for the little black boy, and rightly so. He get hold for 2 pieces of weed on the inside there 8 years now. Break your whole heart. And it's correct. But he didn't tell you that all of that was a stunt to free Asian Steve. That's what that was. To free Asian Steve and the $1 billion bandits from Piarco. So Section 34, held up in front of your eyes, free the little black boy, was bringing the billionaires with them. And then the nation uproar. Section 34 became a bad word. And the parliament, and twice I see that UNC panic. And the first time they panic was that morning, Section 34. I watched them stinking slack bitches run back in the same parliament and agreeably repeal the whole shit. They tear up their own law. And all they had to do was amend it to put white-collar crime. But the jig was up. The farce was exposed. This wasn't for the little black boy. And if you go in the parliament and you make it for white-collar crime, then the Royal Castle money and Ross advertising and all the bullshitocracy that was surrounding the UNC would have been exposed. Look where we reach. Look where we reach in this conversation. The President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago proclaimed Section 34 a section of a law by itself. Is this the President? This is the Attorney General, or the Minister of Legal Affairs, or the Justice Minister, or this is Kamala herself, or maybe Ish made the call. I don't know who. Somebody called him and said, listen, we want to take a piece of a law and pass it into law. You up to that? Yeah, man, bring it. We want you to do it, though, during the 50th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago independence. You have plenty bullshit going on in Savannah. So we want to do it the day before the public holiday, while everybody's stunted. We want to do it then. Max, you up to this? Yeah, man, bring it. We need to do it in the dead of night. No problem, bring it. That man you want me to say rest in peace. Max Richards, go on to your final reward. And to the jackasses who told me, the chancellor, wasn't he the chancellor of the university? He didn't read the law. He didn't read the law he passed. The piece of law he passed, President of the Republic, he has one job, two really. Swearing people in and proclaiming other people's laws. You're trying to tell me that he didn't read a law, a piece of a law that they asked him to pass in the dead of night on a long weekend? You telling me that and want me to believe that Max Richards didn't know what he proclaimed? Pull the other leg, brother. Pull the other leg. And like, what's the name of this clown from, I can't remember his name, Ramnat? The last one who just died, and Malcolm Jones. All of you who want to tell me I can't speak ill of the dead, miss me with your bullshit, go your way. Live life that I can respect you in death. Because if you're a son of a bitch and a shithong and a conspirator and an abuser of public office, I will call you that. I'm going to tell you all a joke again. There were two mafia men in New York City, brothers, and they were notorious. And the older brother died. And the younger brother went to the priest in the cathedral and he said, Father, I would like you to bury my brother. He said, well, yeah, it's the church, you know, we will bury him. But I would like you to say good things about him. He said, I can't do that, I can't lie. He said, Father, I will give a big donation to the church. He said, I can't lie. He said, Father, I will send somebody to kill you. He said, I'll do the funeral. And in the funeral, the priest said, the man in this coffin is a crook, a bandit, a killer, a murderer, a rapist. He is the worst of the worst. But next to his brother, he's a saint. So he lived up to his promise. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we are never, ever, ever going forward until we face all of the demons of the past. Now, I'm not saying Max Richards was the biggest of the bandits or the misbehaviors in public office. Of course not. Max was at best. Anyway, that I could leave out. But you have to be able to swallow that bitter medicine. You have to see Basdeo Pandey, charming little bullshit artist that he is, also for Piarco. You can't think Baz wasn't in the loop. You cannot allow yourself to be conned into believing that all of the people that were appointed under his administration, Baz is a fella. Let me tell you something. He demonstrated over his entire career. He's take 2-3 players ahead. You want me to believe that everything that went on with Kwaitong and Ish and Steve and Kwaitong Girl and all of them in Piarco and everything else, Dupree and the Rumstocks and Gillette and the Bandwidth, all that shit that went on under Pandey, and all they want me to believe Pandey did know. It's like Kamala wasn't involved. You see, people wrong her. So Kamala is an ass. Not only did she appoint crooks, she is incapable of keeping her own crooks in line. The government was running rogue, and you want me to put her back as Prime Minister? Pick a struggle. It's either she was involved or she incompetent. And either way, Kamala should never be Prime Minister of anything again. You shouldn't even use her to declare bingo open. You can't be sure. And this is true truth. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are not going anywhere until we understand that that parliament belongs to us. It is the property of the people. It exists for one purpose. The parliament exists for one purpose: to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And if the parliament is not serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what is the purpose of the parliament? Inside the parliament, of the 41 seats, it gets organized into a government and an opposition. Under the Westminster system that we copied and we pasted, Eric Williams. Great job. So now we have a government, and inside that government, which is the bigger side, the Prime Minister get to pick his squad, handpick his squad, people who he know will agree with him, and call them the cabinet. And these words, the media throw them around like the cabinet has decided. That is the Prime Minister and his gang. The Prime Minister and his hand-chosen band of yes men and women have agreed that what the Prime Minister wants, the Prime Minister gets. So when the cabinet goes looking to buy a boat, you can't trust none. It's not like it's self-regulating. It's me and all the people that agree with me. So what I want to happen, what you think will not happen? That's the Pandey show you that. He put 2 Tobago senators in the Senate. They disagree with him and he fired them. He put 2 other senators, they agreed with him and they stayed. You do not have a country that has ever had a government. If you did, the justice system and our courts, you have to understand, this country doesn't qualify by size to be a county in most countries. Our court system, our police service are jokes. These are boondocks. This is small potatoes. There are people in all through the world, in the United Kingdom, United States. You could go anywhere in the world and you could get professionals who could come here. You could imagine bringing a manager from the port in Singapore and let him watch our little port and tell him we're having problems with this. He will laugh. He will laugh. Long ago I used to play a lot of pool. I used to play a lot of pool because I love that game. And anytime there was a pool competition and I entered a pool competition, the day before, I used to go and play snooker. Snooker is about 4 times the size of a pool table. And the pockets unforgiving. Unlike pool, in snooker, if you touch the side of the pocket at all, it bounces you out, not bounce you in. Pool, it works the other way. So you have to be spot on. And you have to be damn accurate. So that by the time you go to play pool, the table look tiny. You see the angles and the shots easier because you've seen them from a long distance. You bring people who are professional, who deal with ports, 50 times the size of the port of Trinidad and Tobago, you think it would lose $1 billion a year next year? You really think so? You really think that a professional operator of a port from the world over would come and see our little port and understand how that cost us $30 billion? You'll ever go and read the Auditor General report? It's interesting reading. I use interesting. I know I'm stretching that word. But everything that is wrong in this country is just theft. It looks like it can't be solved to make you feel. The licensing office of Trinidad and Tobago, there are people who line up to get their license, and a clipboard moves through the system with some $100 on the clipboard, and every time it changes hands, somebody take their $100. And that's okay. In the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land. So licensing office is set up to frustrate you if you try to do it legally. But you know somebody, yeah man, we good. But it will cost you money. And it's not me, eh? But you see the fella in the back with the 2 gold bars, and the 3 gold bars, and the 9 gold bars, the fella in the whole gold suit, all of them had to get money. Me, I your partner. We got. But all of them had to get paid. Sorry. So if you want me to expedite this, you gotta put something on this clipboard. And it is not just there. The teaching service of Trinidad and Tobago, the teachers do it different. The teachers show up and don't teach your children. So at the end of the term, your children fail, and you panicking. And the teacher say, well, we do extra lessons, you know. Now it costs you some money. And they charge you money to teach your children the same curriculum that they don't teach them in the classroom that they're being paid for by the state. Everything that's set up to fail for theft. The Hippocratic Oath, the first line says, first do no wrong. And that is the first line that Trinidad, there are doctors in this country that cross it off. Because wrong is what they're here to do. Pack my trunk with free public supplies to take to my private institution. And you could line up and cuss in casualty. Because I have touts that come and sit down next to you and say, you know, you see that? They're fixing that now for you in that nursing home or that hospital. I know a doctor, he will fix you up now, you know. Cost you a couple $100, you have it? So when they say that Trinidadians don't want to change, I refuse to believe that. So I will continue to come into the public space and say to you, this is wrong and this is your right. This is wrong and this is your right. When the Minister of Education take your money from the Minister of Finance and pay it into the education system that he knows is failing your children, he is conspiring to defraud you and he is misbehaving in public office. And it's as simple as that. The Minister of Health, Terence Dialsing, Fuad Khan, and all that have passed before, that knew that this is a joke. That what passes for healthcare is a joke, but Fuad and them become millionaires because of that joke. Don't worry, don't you tell man, come by we. And then going in the parliament, normal, you know. I mean, the noose getting tight around your neck. Just now, the 1% going to launch a political party in this country. Brace, it's going to launch in trotters. It's going to launch in trotters. The 1%ers, cutting out the middleman. Cutting out, you don't need corrupt politicians anymore. We're going to do it ourselves. And we'll go and debate one another. Trinidad is like a ridiculous animal farm trying to happen right before your eyes. Right before your eyes. You are watching the pigs stand up. How will voters overcome ethnic fear? Hayden Blades, you have to explain what ethnic fear means. Because we have no ethnic fear at any other stage of society except at election times. The truth of the matter is, this can't continue. We are going to a place, and every time we think it's gotten as bad I mean, Asami. Remember Asami? Remember when Asami was the worst? Remember when this pretty little red girl in Iron Man Company, when she was the worst? Remember that? How come Asami and that little red girl, what's her name? How come she wasn't the line for Ed Mandela? But remember when they were the worst? And then a new worst come? Remember when a new worst, this is a new worst. Watching this little black boy trying to crawl out of a car and he burned to death. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
I wanna fly, change, fly up to the sky. UNC change up, things rearrange up. This is since they get rid of the past. Let the past be the past. UNC brand new. They're going to tell you. This is since the humble don't rubbish. The party have no more rubbish. But when I look around, what do I see? Recycled politicians. I see kangaroos like a salmon from Logan, hopping from bandwagon to wagon. So they polish and shine, they fall back in line. But that cannot take my mind. Jump high, jump low, whether sun or rain.
I ain't falling for that again.
It's the same faces, new administration.
The same faces.
Now in new positions, with a brand new chief.
USC.
The same bunch of scamming thieves. When the airport billions disappear. Remember, Rudlal was right there. When the English bank account didn't declare. Remember, Warner was right there. But they changed their pants and they changed their skirt. They changed their blouse and they changed their shirt. They even changed the style of their hair. But they had changed their stinking underwear. Change. I said for change. I wanna fly.
All of y'all who calling for curfew and states of emergency, stop it, please. It does not require that to fix the country. Stop asking the government to take away your civil human rights. Stop it. The country does not need a state of emergency or a curfew or any other such bullshit. What we need to do is bring foreign law enforcement to lock up the corrupt police first. So when you lock up all the corrupt police, what you're left with, how much ever, is a police service. And incentivize and motivate them. Tell them you're getting $1,000 on every gun that you bring in. Tell them every successful prosecution, $5,000 bonus. Give police the same incentive. You see the record? $10 million profit last year. Give police incentive. Stop being so penny-wise and pound-foolish. After you remove all the corrupt police and you jail their ass, whoever remain, give them incentive to work overtime. And they will work overtime because police know all who and what. But they just have no incentive. And also, change the system where police are going to sit down in the court every time a case call. Because he on the list of witness forever. He on the list of witness forever. That's not how it is done in a functional civilized country. Change that. Make it so that there is a prosecutor that when he needs the police officer, he calls him. Make it so that the case can't take longer than 3 years or it will be tossed out of the court. And if the judge have 4 cases tossed in 1 year, fire the judge. Make the country functional. Make it workable. Make it so that bandits know that if they commit crime, they're going to do time. And once that message is clear, and from the top down, so the same kick down in Beatum and Sealots and Scorpion and Enterprise and then back there, them same kind kind of police exercise must find its way into Westmoreland and Valsade and Goodwood Park and Bel Air too. You see, we can't just say that little black boy crime and little Indian boy crime is crime, when the real crimes that run in this country is the drug trade that destroying Trinidad and Tobago, and then on top of that, using the country's economy to launder drug money. That's where we are. That's where we are. Stop pretending that the same people who molesting you have the right to tie you up. You think you will get molested less? You think the government don't know how to fix it? You think the commissioner of police don't know? Or the chief justice? These people know. I'm not the brightest man in Trinidad. If I say this to you, the information is out there. These people have more degrees than a thermometer. Check them out. How come I know this and I can say this to you and they can't do it? How come? You don't think they don't know? So if they know and they don't do it, do you think it is because it is deliberately set up to fail? And if so, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the fact that the government that you put in power, that exists on your vote, that gets paid because you pay them, out of your treasury money, them living large and eating nice, how do you feel that the people whose power and authority flows from you are abusing you and getting paid by you to do it too? How do you feel? How do you feel? On the 20th of January in Lange Park, Chaguanas, we're taking no prisoners, you know. On the 20th of January, real name going and call, you know. You see, you're living in a country where the state now is allowing something. Let me give you an example. Brian Stone, UNC, Kirkwaite, fixing TNT, me and Kirk, but we'll cross the street to get away from each other. So I want to give you this information so you understand. I'm not defending these fellas. I want to expose to you what's going on. They have something in this country called the defamation law. And this is what they're doing with the defamation law. Some bright little lawyers come up with this idea and sell it to the 1%. That you can bring up somebody on defamation. And from the time you serve them that to go to court, you've gagged them. If that matter take 2 years in the court, them can't speak. Kirkwaite raising issues about Rolf Balgobin and the allegations of sexual impropriety that's surrounding that man, that's swirling around him. Brian Stone is raising allegations of corruption against the Prime Minister. And now the Prime Minister's lawyers are trying to gag him. And this is what they're doing. They are going to try to gag every single person who is speaking out, because the normal institutions of state that should fix these things is broken by design. So you tell me, do we continue to operate like this is a real country? Do we continue to pretend that this madness masquerading as governance is somehow normal? How do you think the rest of the world really views Trinidad and Tobago? When you read real articles of Trinidad and Tobago, there is a tone of foreboding. There is an undercurrent of understanding that that nation is failing, you know. That at some point, its people are going to be in real trouble directly because of the actions of its government and a corrupt and zealous business class and some deviant professionals. And when you listen to foreigners speak about Trinidad and Tobago, they always say a nation with so much promise, so much going for it, slipping down a slope that going to end in a lot of heartbreak and a lot of pain and a lot of tears. The people of this country have an opportunity right now There is an organization that is neither African nor Indian, Syrian nor white nor Chinese. It is the epitome of the red man and the Douglas and the Chindian party. This is an everybody place. All are we. None are we really purebred in this country anymore, you know. Because the purebreds, they're not pretty. When you look at it, but you stick up in there. But most, the vast majority, I would say 98%, when you see a white girl with a big ass, no, that's a dip of the tar brush. And that is the truth. That is the truth. We're talking genetics. So look around, and they don't have enough squatting in the world. I know some girls, and I tell you, you're white like snow, but that's a black ass you're carrying. And I'm being honest with you, 97% of us, 97% if not more, mix. This is the mixed race party. One people under one flag. You see that umbrella? We ain't start to talk about why our symbol is an umbrella, you know. You see our slogan, our color, that orange, and the umbrella, the color orange, the international color of safety and security, well-being. That is our color orange. It also happens to be red and yellow combined. So if you leave your cult, put one foot in safety, the Progressive Empowerment Party. That color orange, there's a reason. All things that have to do with safety vests, rescue floats, all of these things are orange for a reason. It's when you see orange, you must say, yes, I'm safe. An umbrella provides protection against harsh rays of the sun and wet rain. An umbrella protects you. And there is room under the Progressive Empowerment Party umbrella for everybody in this country. We orange, safe and sure, together, protecting all of us. One people under one flag. Anybody who too black, or too Indian, or too white, or too Syrian, or too Chinese, or too whatever to fit in with the rest of us could kiss my half-red ass. The rest of us coming together as one people to take this blessed, beautiful paradise that we've been granted, fertile and bountiful, to where it's supposed to be, the 20th of January, Lange Park at 3. And this gentleman who is singing this song will be live on stage in Lange Park, Chaguanas on the 20th of January, giving you this refrain.
If it is that who you think ready or not, when you vote in, vote them wrong. Vote them wrong.
This is the anthem.
If it is the movement,
We will frustrate them with this song. Let them call an election. Bertrand Lewis, it ain't have no African and Indian here, we are all Trini. Bertrand Lewis, go to the head of the class. Let me tell you something now. Stop it. Stop it. When you see a racist, run. Because a racist is an insane fool. You cannot not like somebody else because of how they look. If you are somebody who does not like somebody else because of how they look, something is wrong in your mind, and I don't want to be part of any mad people. Terminate their reign. If they cannot come to you and say, vote for me because we will make home ownership for all a reality. You see that one promise? You see that house we show you? You see that $100,000 starting up to 1.5 million, zero deposit, zero interest for 30 years, so that even minimum wage earners can own a home? You see that? That changed the game, you know. That, like a rising tide, will lift all boats. Imagine 500,000 families in this country, people get to own their own home. Imagine the feeling of pride. You set patriots on fire. They want to put up the flag. This is my land. This is my home. A man's home is his castle. We've robbed people of their right to be fully functional citizens, stakeholders, heir to their own country because we allow bandits and crooks into governance. That have to change.
Let's put our country together again.
One people under one flag. Frustrate them with that. They will weep long tears. Explain to me why it is we could have whole communities in this country consigned to such mad poverty. How is that possible? You were in government. You had the power of the treasury. You could have written laws. You could have managed the economy. You could have opened it so that every single person could have had hope and opportunity. Why didn't you?
For 30 years, you're voting them in. And there's only tears. As soon as they win, they give you big words.
Giving you big words to enslave your soul, promising your roads, and the whole nation is one big pothole.
If they are the reason why the economy won't sprout,
When you're voting, we will organize motorcades from the north, east, west, central, south, and Tobago. We will play this song till they hear it in their sleep, until they have to answer in their dreams. How is it that you had the opportunity to make this country work and you didn't? Why is this country, all of the fertile farmland growing razor grass and 1% importing food that we could grow here, selling it to people 5 and 6 times the price it could cost if we grow it here, and telling people, pissing on the back and telling them there's rain falling, telling them that we can't afford to grow food? You ever hear more madness?
if it is the bicycles that them alone can flog, when you're voting for them all. If it is the building houses, east, west, north, and south, let's say where you vote them in. Register and vote them all. Totally state to figure and vote. Rescue the country. Put them up with tempo. They happy in pain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Ask Keith Rowley if he doesn't know how to pick up the phone and call Scotland Yard and negotiate to have 4 teams, 5 teams, 6 teams of investigating officers sent to Trinidad and Tobago. Pay Scotland Yard, pay the police, precept them, give them work permits and cut them loose. Fine all the corrupt police, fine all the criminal police, fine all the rogue police. Why you couldn't end that part of the conversation, Keith Rowley? Why? Why haven't you yet deployed the Coast Guard to close this nation's borders? Why? When Edmund Dillon, stunt artist, stunting jackass, told the nation last year that we always knew closing the borders was the issue. How come you've not done it yet? If you've always known, why didn't you call for assistance? If you think our Coast Guard corrupt, why you didn't call for the Americans and the Canadians and the Brazilians and the British? Call for help. Why you didn't say, listen, we have stories, you know. We could tell you they knew it was coming. Since Obama was president of the United States, I'll give you a piece of article. I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, Trinidad and Tobago. They knew it was coming. This is not new. The Sinaloa cartel carves drug routes in the Caribbean. This was published on a global website, a global post website on February 18th, 2012. Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. The Sinaloa cartel, Mexico's largest drug smuggling organization, is working with Dominican criminal groups to establish a Caribbean trafficking route, Dominican and U.S. officials said. In recent months, Dominican officials have blamed the Mexican group for a handful of murders and stealing a corporate jet under the cloak of early morning darkness from an airport here. The jet, which was later recovered in Venezuela, was going to be used to transport cocaine from South America, officials said. The Sinaloa presence was confirmed when authorities working with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, arrested a Mexican national and confessed Sinaloa member. During interrogation, Luis Fernando Bertolucci Castillo admitted to having a direct line to reputed cartel boss Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who was later extradited to the U.S. to face drug charges late last year. This is 2011. This Sinaloa cartel is seeking to create a route to Europe using the Dominican Republic. Dominican ambassador to the U.S. Anibal de Castro said this month, citing Bertolucci's statement that marked the government's first public acknowledgement of the group's presence. The cartel members are also seeking logistical support from Dominicans, according to a member of the Dominican National Directorate for Drug Control, a branch of the military that combats trafficking, who spoke on the condition of anonymity. That includes relying on Dominicans to provide them with small planes for drug flights from the southern Venezuelan state of Apure, as well as obtaining precursors to synthetic drugs, such as amphetamines used for crystal meth, the source said. So far, the group's presence appears limited to small cells. However, Sinaloa's mere existence adds a level of complexity to a country already struggling with a handful of international criminal groups. It also suggests cartels are examining the Caribbean as a supplement route to the preferred Central America-Mexico route, a shift U.S. officials have feared. Now, under Donald Trump, it is worse, because under Donald Trump, Mexico closed. The Obama administration has warned that the drug war in Mexico would push cartels to increasingly run drugs through the Caribbean. Why are we not discussing this in the nation's parliament? This is 2012, in a nation that in the 80s had a Scott drug report that told us corruption from drug trafficking ran rife even through the police service and members of all arms of state. The islands were the preferred routes for notorious kingpins like Pablo Escobar in the 1980s until a U.S. crackdown pushed the trade toward Mexico. The DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, and officials in the State Department believe Mexican cartels are looking to gain greater control of turf outside the Central America and Mexico corridor, which receives the bulk of U.S. focus and financial support. Now, I'm not saying it is so, but this is a country that is in a recession, yet we are opening more franchises and businesses and malls than at any time in our history. And those two things not adding up. It seems to be a lot of loose money in Trinidad and Tobago. The handwriting is on the wall. We can see the train. It is coming down the tracks. They will return to the Caribbean. Assistant Secretary of State William R. Bromfield told a U.S. Senate subcommittee in November. We know we're going to have to deal with this crisis again. It is in our interest, in fact, would be the height of folly and stupidity for us not to prepare for it now and in advance. I want to read that again. This is what the Assistant Secretary of State, William R. Bromfield, told a U.S. Senate subcommittee in November of 2011. The handwriting is on the wall. We can see the train. It is coming down the tracks. They will return to the Caribbean. We know we are going to have to deal with this crisis again. It is in our interest. In fact, it would be the height of folly and stupidity for us not to prepare for it now and in advance. I want to tell you something. There are officers of the United States in Trinidad and Tobago right now who would do anything for a government that would invite the United States of America to shut down our borders. They would pay for it. The United States of America, the United States of America would build our maritime security wall. It wouldn't cost us a cent. Traffickers largely utilize go-fast boats capable of carrying more than 4,000 pounds of cocaine to transport drugs. Now, listeners, however, throughout the Caribbean, other more inventive methods are on the rise, according to the DEA. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. In a nation where 40%, your Prime Minister himself said, 40% of all shipping that passes through this country passes through unchecked, that the shipping containers are unexamined. Among them, traffickers attach torpedo-shaped tubes or metal boxes full of cocaine, heroin, or other drugs to the underside of cargo ships. Drivers are sent to retrieve the drugs once the ships arrive. This country is broken deliberately and by design. Dirty money of all kinds. And I want to tell you, I just wanted to give you that little dot to show you the kind of information that we have, that we're very aware. A maritime security wall is a repurposing of 6 to 8 oil barges positioned in a ring around Trinidad and Tobago, connected by the 360-degree radar. These barges would be outfitted with facilities for Coast Guard, Customs, Police, and Army. And these connected barges, now connected by the 360-degree radar, we could see ships coming from miles away. We could see watercraft coming from miles away, and all will stop and yield to search. We will have to use fast attack boats and interceptor helicopters based on within range of each of these repurposed barges. And we will have divers on those boats to check for these torpedoes and metal boxes containing cocaine. You see, if we shut the cost of running the gangs down, the gangs will stop. When the gangs have no money, because the cocaine industry is what is paying these gangs. And when you take away that, you see, you don't hear about ISIS again. You don't notice that? You notice you don't hear about Al-Qaeda and ISIS again. About a year now. Check it. You don't hear about them. Because they know that there is a madman in the White House, in the United States of America, who just recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. They know they're dealing with a madman who will wipe the Middle East off the map. They know that, to the point where the king of Saudi Arabia and that whole clan that financed Al-Qaeda and ISIS for all these decades rolled it back. Because they understand. Night could only run until day catch it, you know. All that shit they're talking about Donald Trump, he could be the biggest ass in the world. I want to tell you something. Terrorism done. Terrorism done. And they have no Al-Qaeda money for Trinidad gangs. It's only cocaine money. And I tie back to Trinidad Theater, no. It's only cocaine money. And that same Donald Trump, you call him and you say, listen, Trinidad and Tobago is being used as a pipeline for dirty money and drugs. I need your help. They will send a small Coast Guard fleet. It is nothing. It's nothing for them. They have millions of boats. To send 20, we don't buy no OPV. All this bullshit with Manning and Kamla and OPV, my half-red ass. The United States will do it for us. They sent a ship-rider agreement. They wanted to do it for us. But we say, sovereignty. Sovereignty is a lie. It wasn't about sovereignty. It's about governments complicit and compliant, and they know. But the Progressive Empowerment Party from day one will be inviting foreign-based armies and coast guards to shut this nation's borders down. We will unstuff every container on the port. In quick time, there will be a maritime security wall, and the drug trade will be over. All of the financing and all of the funding for the criminal gangs committing all of this murder, the gun trade will be done. We will create a gun incarceration center, a 24-hour gun court, 24 hours. We will create a smelter, a mini smelter, live with a news feed. And on the social media, you can watch it 24/7. As a police officer, bring a gun again and check for $1,000 and drop it in the smelter. That gun done, one less. Once you close the borders, destroy what's here. And we will create an anti-gun squad that will strike fear in the hearts of the bandit clan. They're not coming for you alone, you know. They want your gun. They want your gun. Because that squad at the end of the night can make $100,000 and come with 100 guns. Divide that among yourself. No gang man, no cocaine man paying them that. They're not paying them that. We are $30 million for police. Not civilians. Only police can get this. But first we bring in the FBI to weed out the corrupt police. You see how everything tie up? You see how everything tied together nice with a bow? See? Oh, just a plan. Just a plan. This is how to fix it. Now go, don't fight me. Don't talk about me and bad talk me and don't like me. Forget that. Go and ask who you support. Go and ask who you like. This is what Philip Alexander say will work. Tell me. That can work? This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Come down. Bring your friends and family. The policy is a fallacy. The heterocracy, a catastrophe. If they cannot cope, and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to move. Fabrication. Faris and Keith, master fabricators. Misuse out, thief out, sell out and digs out. How long they doing that? Remember the first song? Panama? Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote out the corrupt and complicit UNC. Vote out the corrupt and bumbling and incompetent PNM. All them little children are dead this week. They're dead because of those two political parties. Because they failed you. They've had government. They've had the opportunity and they could have fixed it and they didn't. These little 2x4 gangs in this country. You think that is something to fix? One marine exercise in Trinidad and Tobago. Pick all of them up. And they gone, send them Guantanamo Bay. Let's do a deal with the United States. Anybody in this country who operating as a gang, we will consider you part of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Take them, Cuba. People must come first. Citizens by right. None of we ours. Yellow, black or white. Food, shelter and clothes. Free movement and speech.
I got the growth and one love for each. If it is that injustice is what they always show.
When you're voting, if it is that avarice is all they seem to know, that is greed, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is their politics, it's just a pappy show. When election day come, all bandits must go. And I just showed you in 5 minutes what Edmund Dillon should have done for the past 2.5 years. What Kamala's 5 ministers of national security should have done. What Manning, Pandey, Kamala, Rowley could have dealt with. We are in this country, in this situation by design. All of the criminality and all of the corruption and all of the incompetence is by design to frustrate the people. Ask yourself, do you want to continue living under that yoke? Or do you want to vote yourself a better country? Because I'm telling you, we have a plan for everything, you know. We have a plan for everything. It starts Level Up 2018. Starts on the 20th of January. Public, law-abiding democracy. We are calling the people out to call the government to order. We're putting you on notice. We are putting you on notice. Respect the people, treat with the people, and deal with the people from a position of respect and dignity. Give everybody hope and opportunity, or you will be fired. And we will fire you. And we will organize the people of this country for a proper shutdown and keep it shut down till you're fired. But you're going to give you a chance. And we're starting the 20th of January now. You're getting a heads up. The 20th of January. So all the people of Trinidad and Tobago who want a better country, all of you all who standing on the sideline and quoting pet policies all of a sudden and saying you all want to put things aside for a better country, come under the PEP umbrella. Come in the Orange Army. Come and join the Orange Revolution. We've started this. Come and help us. Don't look to get us to come and join with you all, because that is not happening. The sun will never rise on any such day. The Progressive Empowerment Party is building itself into the representation, the real representation, the people of this country of Trinidad and Tobago. And if you want better, if you want a better nation, come out on the 20th of January. Lanch Park, Chaguanas at 3 o'clock. This Saturday at noon is the last meeting in Stanmore Avenue. Next week Saturday we won't have one because of the public meeting. Come out this Saturday at noon. Those of you who want to sign up for the pre-registration of the housing program, it continues. Come early. Last week Saturday the line got long. If you want to sign up pre-registration for houses, come early. This Saturday we're at 19 Stanmore Avenue. If you want to register the job seekers program, people have already started getting jobs. If you want to register in the job seekers program, come out this Saturday at noon. If you want to be a part of the normal Saturday meeting, this Saturday at noon, we're there. Come and be a part of it. If you want a better country, you are going to have to vote yourself a better country. You are going to have to join with us and help us get this job done. We are committed to this course of action. And if you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, we will see you this Saturday. And all of you who would like to assist in the event for the public rally, because we are asking for your help. We are asking for your help, and we are asking for every single member on this thread and every single person who follows me or follows the Progressive Empowerment Party. Do your job and bring others. Go and bring them. Bring them on a Saturday, because when people come and they hear and they get exposed to what this party really stands for, they sign up one time because they see hope. And that is all we stand for. Yes? So until tomorrow evening, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.